like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength, now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules, my life destroyed, life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero?
It's not unheard of in a high-performance fighter aircraft that we're going to have things discovered during our flight testing or our actual performance and use of the airplane in the field. So I don't get too excited when people criticize the airplane in that context. The men and women of the 570th have been working on the F35 for a little over 3 years now. We've been supporting both the U.S. Air Force, the U.S. Marine Corps, and the U.S. Navy now in modifications of the program, as well as some of our partner nations associated with the program. We do this in conjunction with Lockheed Martin. We've teamed together and we have integrated to support the program. The tolerances of the aircraft are extremely tight and the technicians here have done a tremendous job supporting meeting those requirements for the program. So if you look at the modifications we performed, the big one initially was the wing root rib modification. And when you look at the wing root rib modification, the engineering tolerances, again, on that one structurally were some of the most demanding I've seen in 30+ years of aircraft maintenance.
We changed out aluminum pieces and made them titanium. It was cracking in certain areas, double the structure in those areas, and that alleviates that and it allows them to fly longer.
It was actually significant to disconnect at the wing. And we found that the tight tolerances, you're talking 0.003 of an inch tolerance, that the weather could affect the airplane as it sat. So if the weather got hot or cold, it could shift the airplane and affect your alignment of the airplane. Another structural mod we're doing that's extremely tight tolerances, bleed air system duct.
So the mod itself is just getting down to the structure itself to reinforce all the structures, just to beef them up, to make them a little bit stronger, to reinforce all of them.
We can interchange engines from one version to another on the A models.
It allows us to not have to have a third party come in to laser measure the aircraft before we can install an engine in it.
We're still dealing with some of the challenges of the extreme tight tolerances on those Navy airplanes for what's called the Fuselage Station 518 modification.
Through the GCTD, what we need to do is remove the old 518 frame and replace it with a new 518 frame that's built up in areas that will help fatigue issues and stress along the way with the aircraft. We do a lot of match drilling. This aircraft has a lot of precision drilled holes. For us to do that, we have a concept we call potting. Well, we'll create a tool, we'll match it up to the old aircraft configuration, and we have pins that go into that aircraft, and we pot a bushing around that. So it holds the same center line and angularity, so when we go to drill the new part, we don't actually have to take that error of back drilling through the aircraft or guessing the best guess where that hole is so we're not damaging that aircraft. We have a tool that's basically a mimic of what we're going to drill on the new part.
We have to ensure that the airplane doesn't move or shift. So we don't have the ability to do concurrent modifications at some points during our flow of the airplane here, which means no one can be on top of the airplane doing a fuel system mod or an avionics mod or an electric harness modification, because the potential is the aircraft could shift and throw it out of tolerance, and then we'd have to spend a lot more time realigning it. So the technicians and our planners have done a tremendous job figuring out how to sequence that work for the most efficiency that we can achieve. And then of course you have the challenges of the management of the program between the Joint Program Office and Lockheed Martin, with the contractual requirements that happen and the timing of those to the timing of our ability to execute those modifications on our production line. So as each one of those modifications I talk about has its own lines of accounting, its own unique engineering requirements, all those things have to fall in play before we can execute the mods on the airplane. The support can be challenging for any airplane, but what does this airplane bring to the battlefield? And that is the key about this program and what it brings to not only our Air Force, but our nation.
I feel proud to support whatever they need to continue on.
And that's our primary function here, is to be able to prepare the warfighter for combat-ready aircraft. It needs to be airworthy at all times. So at that point, we need to be able to prepare for the future and adjust for any small discrepancies. So anything that has the possibility of becoming a major defect in the future, we need to start preparing for it now.